We have come to week 6 of our series, Active Churches Worldly. Wow, we made it this far, only one more to go. So excited to be on this journey with you. Right now, we're gonna hear from Pastor Shauna as she shares with us what it means to use our time, treasures, and talent for Jesus. It's gonna get emotional. It's gonna be a little bit intense, but there's a message in there that is so strong we want you to hear tonight. So tune in, lean in, and let's hear from Pastor Shauna.
Active Church is worldly, and as Christians, we're supposed to have an impact on the world that we live in. As followers for Jesus, we should be turning this world upside down. However, when we think about turning the world upside down for Jesus, we often think that we're supposed to live these supposed radical lives. We're supposed to sell our house and move to the jungle and only listen to Christian music. Even give up Harry Potter books and movies, or take our kids out of public schools just to make a serious impact. These things are all fine, but God is simply calling us to care about what He cares about. Generously giving of our time, our talents, and our treasures. It's an ongoing challenge. Even for me, and I know giving serves others, and I know being generous transforms me. It makes me grow, but with growth comes growing pains, and it stretches us out of our comfort zones. 2018, it's my year to grow, and it's my time to stretch. When I first got here, I said I would never do announcements, and James Rensink told me that wasn't an option. And now announcements are one of my favorite things to do here at Active. Right now, for instance, talking in front of people. Not comfortable with that. But I am thrilled to have the opportunity to give my time and to share what's on my heart. It requires trust and faithfulness and discipline. Last connection group session, we talked about Barnabas. And Barnabas is introduced to us in the book of Acts. We see him selling some land to help provide for fellow Christians. Barnabas is the first we see to truly give of his time and his talents and his treasures. We see God use Barnabas in a very influential way. His nickname of encourager, it flowed from living God's way of life. And how many people came to the knowledge of God's way of life, not only through his preaching, but what I feel most importantly, through his example and his encouragement. Just like Barnabas, we are all called to give. God calls us to give of our time and our talents and our treasures. We are called to use this time faithfully and in a service for others. We live for this communion, and this is what true life is. It's for this reason that we should prioritize our lives around Him, around God, and around the church. It's not the other way around. This reminds me of one of our favorite activators, Michael Jackson. He shows up after every event asking how he can help and what he can do here at the church. And there's points he'll show up in the middle of the week. He's threatened me if I don't find him something to do, he's going to go get a part-time job. And we love and appreciate MJ and his heart to serve. His priority is the church, and his passion makes this very clear. We have an activator, Nikki, who is here before 8 almost every Sunday to prepare hospitality, update our chalkboards, or even jump in and greet. She's here whether she's scheduled or not. And in God's eyes, it doesn't matter if you're preparing for a Sunday morning or if you're the senior pastor. We all love Mike, but we are all answerable for our gifts and our talents and how we use them to build up the church. And how we give of our treasure is a big one. And in my opinion, it's the hardest for some. We give back of our treasure and our resources as an act of recognition and thanksgiving for what God is doing for us. Now, the standard of giving, the tithe, is 10% of your income. But if you're not earning a regular income, or if you're not ready to entrust in a tithe, would you consider giving whatever you can? Even $5 or $10 a month, it's a good and faithful start. My husband Jeremiah and I, we've had an interesting year. Sorry, this is emotional for me. We've had a tough year, but we have continued to give and to serve faithfully. And God has truly blessed us. And our church family has surrounded us with so much love and so much support. Active church, it causes us to think differently about how Christians can turn this world upside down. You don't have to give up everything in order to live for Jesus. He may simply call you to invite the single mom at church over for dinner, or join a surf team, even take the 90-day challenge. So jump in. What are you waiting for?